Hey, this is Front Toes of Cichlids and More, and we're looking at the options for the Matten filtration system. Some of you are very interested in this Matten filtration system. It's something that is popular in the past, and I think it's getting really going really fast now because it's inexpensive, does great biological filtration, and there's a lot less maintenance than some of your other options for filtration. So let's look at option number one, and that has to do with using an air pump to power your Matten filtration system. So let me show you my option, and let's look at that. So option one is using aeration to power your Matten filtration. Now this is maybe something you already have as far as a part of the Matten filtration. We'll be using an existing sponge filter that goes from $4 to $6 on eBay. And what you do, you just take off the sponge filters and you put this behind the Matten filtration system. And it has an adjustable tube. That's one thing I like about these. If you have a very tall Matten filtration, it's adjusted. Allows you to have more options for what you're doing. You put this behind your mat, and it flows out there, and that's all it takes. You've got aeration, and it's putting out flow through the Matten filtration and does really well. Now some options you have for that setup is that you can get a tube that you may have lying around from other filter parts and so forth, and you can put that on the end of the sponge filtration tube, and bam, you've got an extension which allows the flow to go past the Matten filter itself, and it can also direct the flow a little bit better and control it. Now there's another option, and you can use these same options with the power pump, which I'll show you again, just make sure you don't miss that, is actually use a spray bar. So let me show you that. So what you do, you take your sponge filtration piece here, and you're wanting to change the flow, how it flows out. You don't want it just coming out right here. You can actually take an elbow piece, stick it in there, and use an existing spray bar you may have from another filter. If you're like me and been in the hobby for years, you have all types of filter parts, and bam, you have a spray bar with your Matten filtration, and it actually will go well with either your airflow using an air pump or with a power pump. So this will do really well, and you can use multiple of these. You can have 2 to 3 of these on a Matten filter. You just have to have more than one cutout, and it will work just fine if you increase your flow using air filtration for your Matten filter. So let's look at another option, and that is using power pumps the economical way. I think you'll be interested in this because it really, in the budget, will work out and give you more flow if you want to use power pumps. Now if you already have air pumps, you've got options, and it's pretty cheap. So let me show you the power pumps this time. Alright, I'm going to leave the spray bar option on to this piece right here. Now what do you got to do to set this up into a power pump? Now, let me show you a power pump that I have. It's very economical. So basically what we have here is a JP54 Sun pump. And this pump only goes for $10. But it's got a 220 gallons per hour flow. So if you look behind me here, the flow is doing pretty good. I left the water down a little bit just so you see the flow. I got 2 of these going, so I'm getting 440 gallons per hour for 20 bucks. So that's an option. So you can use 1, 2, 3, how many of you want of these pumps here. They're a little bit smaller too than your bigger pumps, and I'll show you those in just a minute. So this option here, you got your pump here, you don't have the adapter put in here. All you have to do, which it fits perfectly, this is why I recommend this pump, not just because of the price. You pull this out right here. You got your tube. You got your spray bar right here. You take your pump and then you take off your air filter, the air line, and stick this in here like so, and bam, it powers the water up through here and out your spray bar. And if you want to adjust your tubing, you can do this right here, and that does it right there. That's for your power flow for your Matten filtration. Now this is 220 gallons per hour. Now let me show you one that's a little bit more exciting. Now of course this pump is going to be a Sun pump as well. It's a Sun JP066, and it's got 420 gallons per hour, and this goes for only around from $14 to $16. So actually having one of these is cheaper than getting two of the other pumps that's a little bit less flow. So one of these will be twice as much as one of the cheaper aquarium pumps that you have from Sun. So this will work where you only have one outlet. Let me show you what you have to do with this. This is a little bit different, not much different. Let me get it open here. Pop it open here. Just got these in. Setting up some aquariums I took down recently, so I'm getting them going here with the Matten filtration again. So basically it comes with 3 adapters that you can use. And you'll be using this adapter, one adapter, another adapter. Now how you use this adapter, you just take the adapter and put it right into the tubing. Just smash it down a little bit, it's not going to come out of there. And then you take this adapter here, you take your pump, and then you twist it in here. Then you have your spray bar option with 420 gallons per hour, and this is only going for around $16. And this will be really great filtration, great flow for your cichlids. So I would think this would be one of the options you would consider for your Matten filtration system. Remember, you don't have to have these suction cups if you use the power pumps. You don't have to even use the suction cups, period. Just take those off. You use them for something else, stick it on your aquarium. So let's look at the Matten filter itself, the actual mat, and the different options you have for that. So the cheapest Matten filter you can get going, you can get this mat from eBay for around $10 to $12. You can go long ways if you have a wider aquarium that's not as tall. Then of course you can go up and down. And that's where you can cut your hole up here or over here. And you can have multiple ones here, and then you can have multiple ones up here if you'd like to do multiple pumps, or the 440 or pump from Sun, or other aquarium pumps that you may have laying around and you haven't been using, or one you want to purchase. So that is one option. That's the cheapest option. Option number 2 is if you have a good retail store, local fish store, they actually offer pond filters, mats that you can use for your Matten filtration. Now some of them may not be the optimum size for you, so you may have to look at, see what you have available. So that's option number 2. So that's a little bit more expensive than the eBay option, but you know, it's an option where you can go to the store and get it if they have it available and not have to wait for eBay to ship it to you. Option number 3 is, and is way more expensive, makes Matten filtration not as economical, but they are a lot better mat, and that's from the SwissTropicals.com. They make a lot better mat. It talks about it. It gives it a good description at their website on how it's a better mat than other mats, but it's way more expensive. You're looking at $100 for a little kit. Myself personally, I have 16 aquariums, so I couldn't do that option. But if you only have one aquarium, and you don't mind spending the extra money for the better mat, feel free to try out SwissTropicals.com. You may not have to use the option where you have, the sponge filter parts. They come with a little bit of a outlet tube in their little kits. But hey, that is not as economical as the options I showed you. Now the options are pretty self-explanatory. You can use air, that's number 1. And then you can use power pumps, number 2. Number 3, you can use multiple smaller, lower flow pumps, or you can use one bigger pump and it just be fine. So you have several options you can use as far as powering your mat filtration, and you have several options as far as for your mat. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This gives you some options, and I'm going to show you real quickly the flow from this Matten filter. Now remember, the Matten filter, as long as you don't have enormous fish, this aquarium right here behind me is just jam-packed with Mbuna cichlids. And I don't have to clean that but once a year. Once a year. Now, I got tired of lugging around canister filters and having to clean them, as often as I was for 16 aquariums. And even if you just have one, moving a big canister filter jammed into a stand may not be what you want to do. And plus, there's always the possibilities of leaks from a canister filter. This top filtration keeps the water in your aquarium. No water is going to come out from a Matten filtration system. So when there's power outages, when there is a faulty gasket, you're not going to have a big flood in your, your bedroom, your den, your living room, wherever. You're not going to have that problem. You're not going to have to get up in the middle of the night when the power goes out and just check just to make sure, like I used to have to do in the past, to see if there's a flood. So the options for Matten filtration you have seen. This may increase you to use Matten filtration, to try it out. I think you'll be very much surprised in how good it does keep your fish healthy and do a reasonable job of keeping your aquarium looking great. Doesn't do as good as a canister filter, but it does great. Those of you interested in Matten filtration, I think are interested in the options I've showed you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Frontosa, Cichlids, and more, the options for the Matten filtration system. Thanks again for watching.